Hello everyone and welcome to another What I Think review, and today we are looking at another of the new B&M sets for 2023. This is the Sixth Doctor and TARDIS set. So this is the first Sixth Doctor and TARDIS set we've ever had. It is one that I know people have been waiting many years to see, but it's nice to see we've got an interesting variation with this one as well, because it could have just been a straight up re-release, but we have of course something new. But obviously, as well as a new figure and a new TARDIS, we also have the updated box artwork on these ones. So again, lovely, well presented in the box. I do, as much as I liked having the stylized backdrops that we got in the sort of earlier B&M TARDIS sets, this new slimmer box, I have to say personally, I actually do like it. I think it's, you know, it's a bit of a shame to lose the stylized backdrops from specific stories, but at the same time it's nice to have it as a simple, slightly smaller box. It means it's better and easier to store on a shelf. And obviously new box style artwork we've got as well. We've got this lovely yellow to go with the Sixth Doctor, and if we turn it round, obviously you can see we've got Sixth Doctor and TARDIS on this. We've got a bit of information on the back here, Sixth Doctor and TARDIS. Special edition, I'm intrigued by the use of special edition on here. And reading through this, the only thing that I can find here that sort of makes this a special edition is down here, this exclusive anniversary year release of the Sixth Doctor figure with his TARDIS comes exactly a decade and a half since its first release in 2008 and 7 years since its last release in 2016. So this is actually a sort of commemoration set of the Sixth Doctor figures. So it's nice to have that sort of extra little bit of information on there. With that, obviously, if we turn it around as well, we have the window on the side here where you can see the you can see a bit more of the TARDIS, and then obviously we come around to the front. Nice sturdy box as well, made of sort of sturdy cardboard. But something that I would just like to mention again, I mentioned this on the first Doctor, you know, TARDIS that we got. We have an open box, you know, there is sort of no, you know, there's no plastic in here. And I still feel like this is a bit of a missed, I was going to say missed opportunity, but I mean more, I think, as much as I hesitate to use words, I still think this is a bit of a mistake. Because, again, kind of like I said previously on other sets, you know, these new boxes I think are a step in the right direction, and this one certainly is. But again, you know, we've got the fact that somebody could come in and take this figure out. You know, it wouldn't be impossible for them to do. And I think just, you know, again, I get that it's about reducing plastic and things like that, but I think having the bit of perspex window on the front here, just a single sheet of plastic, would be a good idea. And then, you know, on the side here, I mentioned this on my First Doctor figure review, is you could have, instead of a window here, which I appreciate, you know, means that you've got, you know, you can't see the side of the TARDIS, so you could put a window there, but personally, if it was me, I'd put a bit of artwork sort of commemorating what's in the box on there. I think it would look very good. On which there are two extra things that I would just like to mention in regards to the box. Firstly, obviously, those who recognise this costume will know that this is the Sixth Doctor in his costume from the Ultimate Adventure stage play. But interestingly, the Ultimate Adventure is mentioned, as far as I can see, nowhere on this box. And I sort of wonder if maybe this is a copyright or licensing thing, that they could do this, but they couldn't mention exactly where this particular variant is from. Obviously, you know, those who know will know, and it's great to see it released as an official variant. But the other thing as well that it then makes me think of is the idea of putting the poster on the side. I'm not quite sure what you could do for this set, because it does mean that you would have to get, I'm assuming they would have to get the licensing rights to the poster and things like that. You could have the sort of promo picture of Colin in his outfit, because that's sort of quite nondescript, or perhaps you could do, they could do a new render of, you know, one of the existing pictures and recolorize it to make it look like he did in the Ultimate Adventure. But it's interesting that the Ultimate Adventure isn't mentioned on this. But the other thing that really strikes me about this particular set, and it's something that I'm now going to put a picture up on screen to show you what I mean, in terms of what I meant about the box art style is I think, particularly with this Sixth Doctor set, there is a great opportunity for another Big Finish exclusive. Now I want to make it clear this render is of my own creation. It is not representative of any future product or anything like that. It is simply my own ideas. But if it was me, I would put in the real-time Sixth Doctor, maybe a little bit of a change to the outfit to make it just sort of slightly different from the original, and then on the side you would have the artwork from real time, where you would have, you know, artwork rather than a window, and then obviously in the front you'd have that one bit of perspex. But to really sort of sell this as another Big Finish exclusive, I would also include either as a digital download, or personally I would probably put it in as an actual disc copy of real time. I think that would sell immensely well, especially if it was, again, another limited edition of, you know, only sort of 150 units each. You know, I would love to absolutely see that and see that come out as a thing. But again, that's just my idea, and it just, you know, I wanted to put that out there, A, because I like the idea, B, just to give, again, in this video, an idea of what I'm talking about in regards to the box art. But let's get into having a look at what we've got inside this box. So here we have the TARDIS and the figure, and I'm going to review these two in the same bit of the video, because one thing that as well that it's only just really dawned on me, and I didn't notice this before I'd never actually questioned this. Obviously the first Doctor TARDIS we got with the David Bradley figure was an electronic TARDIS. Now this is just your standard TARDIS. There's no electronics in this, so it's interesting as to why that they decided to do it for that one but not this one. Again, I'm sure there were reasons. It was probably budget, but you know, at the end of the day, it isn't electronic, but it's, you know, it's still a great looking TARDIS. You know, it's got lovely weathering on it. It's a slightly darker blue than I think we've sort of seen before, and it's also got lots of weathering on it, which certainly looks very good. You've got some nice different sort of colours on the windows and things like that. Obviously, you've got doors opening as you would previously on other ones. Obviously, no inside card because we haven't had that before on a TARDIS, so we haven't got it on a classic TARDIS. Sorry, so we haven't got it on this one. So again, door mechanisms and things like that. In terms of it being all round, you know, the weathering's really nice. The windows, I have to say, actually really do look very good. I like the sort of two-tone thing that they've done with those. They really do look the part, and the weathering on it is lovely as well. It's not too overdone, and it certainly does look the part. It really does make it stand out, I think, as a Sixth Doctor variant specifically, because it's got that slightly more weathered look and things like that. The Sixth Doctor figure, very, very nice. Now, interestingly, there's something about this. The plastic is slightly more... or the paintwork on this, well, maybe it's a combination of the paintwork and the plastic, but it's slightly more, it's got a, I want to say smoother quality to it, but also a slightly more obviously plastic look to it. And I don't mean that in a negative way, it's just, it's difficult to describe and capture on camera, but when you see it in hand, it does have this sort of very sort of different paint application in terms of the plastic. I don't know whether it's a new plastic or new paint applications, but it you know, it still looks great. You know, the figure itself looks very good. We've got lots of lovely detailing on it, obviously lovely detailing on the coat as well. You know, as I said, this is the version of him from the Ultimate Adventure stage play. It's a wonderful variant to see, because I think it really is one that I think you know, a lot of people have wanted over the years. Many people have wanted it over the years, and it is certainly one that I think is going to be very popular, especially for you know, a first Doctor, a first Sixth Doctor and TARDIS set. You know, because when you think about it, they could have done things, you know, that they'd done before. I'm sure lots of people would have liked to have seen a you know, an ultimate faux version, but again, you know, it wouldn't be the first time that we've had different TARDIS sets from multiple Doctors. Perhaps we will get an ultimate faux version one day, perhaps with a newer, larger hairstyle. You know, it could be perfectly on the cards. Again, that is just my speculation. I'm just saying that is also another variant they could do. But yeah, you know, I think that there are good potentials out there for sort of future Sixth Doctor sets, you know, and the fact as well that it's nice to finally see this, because I know that it's been one of those things. I've said it in the past, and that as far as I'm aware, it is true. And I know it's been said by a few other things. Obviously, the reason that there have been so few sort of Sixth Doctor things is, as you can see, from the coat and the design work on this, it looks fantastic. But when you see this and you see all the cross hatching and different patterns and you know, smaller details, you can understand why the reason said that we haven't had Sixth Doctor things is because the paintwork is a bit of a I was going to say production nightmare. That's not what I mean, but it does make it more complicated, and I can understand and see why that's the case with this one. But you know, it was something we were always going to get eventually, and I personally think, as I said, I know some people would have perhaps preferred an Ultimate Foe version, but I think this was the better choice, because the Ultimate Foe version would have basically been the same costume. It would have been unlikely that they would have made a new head sculpt, and the only real small difference would have been perhaps the waistcoat and tie and things like that. So to get this version, I think, is much better as an idea, because it is something, again, which people have wanted for a long time. It's great to finally see it and to see them actually produce this. I know it's going to be definitely going to be a popular one, definitely one that is well worth getting. And again, you know, in the new box style, you know, I've had my thoughts and say on the box and things like that, but it is absolutely going to look the part, and really, I think, be one that is really going to be a pride in many people's collections. You know, it's a simple set. It's a simple costume variant. It's a simple TARDIS variant. The TARDIS isn't electronic, but there's just something about the fact that this is finally a Sixth Doctor TARDIS set that I think is just going to really going to set people off in a good way, you know. So yeah, I really have to give character credit for this one, because it's a simple set, but it's a wonderful set. But that brings to a close another What I Think review. As always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, share, it really helps me a lot, and be sure to description below for a link to my Patreon. I am still doing my figure animation. There is an update coming on it soon. Obviously I have work and time limitations, but in the meantime, your donations are greatly appreciated, and even for the smallest amount, you can get your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you in another video very soon.